what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be finishing up the body work on the Miata here. Now I already did pretty much most of the body work last episode. If you guys watched it, I got the rear end cut up, got the wide body fender flares, whatever you want to call it. I know some people are sensitive on that subject. I used to be as well, and now I just don't care because, I mean, terminology is terminology. So we'll just call it wide body because it sounds kind of cooler, so bear with me. But yes, the rear end is wide body, the fenders are all cut, everything looks good. I just have to sand a little bit of JB weld on the top of it to give it a smooth, clean finish. And I gotta pop these off anyway because I do need to put hardware on here. These are just 10 mils that I had laying around. They're not even all 5 on each corner. I just want to make sure you know that all my holes were lined up, and they are. So this episode we will be cutting up the fronts to do that. Yeah, get the front fenders cut up, which is going to be a million times easier than the rears. Not that the rears are that hard, but it was time consuming. The fronts will just take a few minutes. I just got to mark and cut and finish sanding. So the body has been totally sanded except for the bottom part of the front bumper, the bottom part of this driver door, and then a little bit of the rear end, like the rear bumper. But the rest of the car has been done with 180 or 150 and 180 because I was doing the Bondo and stuff. So I'm not going to really do too much of the sanding so much as I am going to be the cutting and then anything else that happens during this day, because, you know, weekends here kind of get random. Sometimes people stop by, sometimes the cars get hit by javelinas, you know, some things happen. So hopefully you guys stick around for the video. If you could give it a like, that would be awesome, fantastic, and let's get to work. Alright, so the way I did this in the rear is I just followed the line that I had traced from the inside of the fender, and the rears I went 1.25 inches, I believe. So the fronts, it's going to be a little bit softer, or it's going to compress a little bit more because this is where all the weight is. So I'm going to do 1.5 inches cut up front because it'll still give me plenty of room for the hardware. So I'm going to just go from the edge, mark in 1.5 inches there, and just make a bunch of lines and then connect the dots. So upon popping the wheel off, there is wheel well liner in here. So I'm gonna have to unbolt it, just a couple Phillips heads it looks like, and move it, and then I can probably trim it and put it back. So we'll see. Safety glasses and hearing protection, always nice. So that wasn't too bad. Now I'm gonna just go through and take the flapper disc and clean out the edges and stuff, so that way if the tire ever gets in there, it won't tear it up. So let's go cut up the other side and clean it up. Decided to push the car back now. It's a little bit later in the day. I had some stuff come up that I had to get taken care of. So I got the wheel well liner trimmed up on this side. The other side doesn't have it, so it is what it is. Right now I'm working on getting these fenders off. I've never taken the front end off a Miata before, so I'm just kind of working with it. I pretty much have it. I just do have to take the front bumper off to get access to the bolts right here. And the front bumper, I'm working on figuring it out. There's a bunch of bolts up top, like on the Del Sol, and it looks like there's probably something behind these turn signals and maybe something inside the wheel well. So it shouldn't be that hard. I got plenty of space, Lord forbid, from cutting up here. So yeah, let's get this front end disassembled so that way it's easier to paint and easier to prep too.
So this garnish piece was a little bit more on the tricky side. There's some bolts along the inside, 2 plastic tabs, one on each end, and then the center piece right here is actually a plastic clip that you have to remove the mechanism for the latch for the lock, and it's in this little hole right here. So I just used a flathead and pry it around a little bit, and I was able to pop it right out, and off comes this. I thought this was metal. This is actually plastic, so those badges are glued on, so I may just mask those off and sand around them by hand because I don't want to remove those. So with all the panels off the car that I can remove for the most part, I do plan to take the mirrors off, but all the big panels, I'm going to go ahead. I already sprayed degreaser on everything, so I'm going to just go through really quick with the pressure washer and try and just get some of this grime off. Just have it off there in the first place, but I don't want it interfering with any paint, and then give the car a good rinse off too, since it is totally covered in dust right now, so definitely much needed. So let's rinse this off really quick. Oh, and I got a bunch of spider webs back here. Definitely not cool, so get rid of those. Sucks how early it gets dark, because I feel like I've had no time to work today. It's already going on 5 and it's almost dark. Yeah, it's 5:27. You guys can see the sunset's way over there now. So I got the Miata all cleaned up. It's all washed off. Cleaned up the engine bay a little bit too, to grease some of the motor, I mean, I'm gonna end up resealing it when I take it out at some point, but if I have any leaks, I clean the motor so I could see them now, and it definitely needed a power washing on the firewall and stuff. So definitely an ugly duckling at the moment. But now with the main pieces off, it's already too cool outside to go ahead and mix up some Bondo to fill these 2 little holes. But I am gonna break out the sander and take advantage of some of the time that I do have. I can sand in the chilliness of right now, so I'm not too worried about that. And I got the lamp over there, so I'll just work on sanding the body. I'm sure my girlfriend will probably help me sand the fenders and the little pieces that I have off the car. I've got the rear bumper here, fenders there, garnish there, front bumper over there, which is already pretty much sanded. So not too much more work, and then we are ready for paint. I am just over this. I hate prep work so much. It's rewarding to see it actually getting done, but it's so tedious to do. But yeah, I'm gonna just go sanding for a while, and when I get caught up on that, I'll let you guys know and I'll update you. So next day, very long day. I've been sanding since early this morning, but I finally got the whole car all sanded up. I got most of the hood divots, dents, dings, whatever, patched up with some body filler. The rest of them I really don't care for. But I can't really see any more, honestly. It's hard to tell. I'm sure I'll see them when I lay the paint, of course. But yeah, I got the whole body all done up. I only did up to 600, and I already masked off some of the things I need to mask off. But I didn't really feel the need to go any higher on the grit. I will be masking the front end with the tarp and stuff, and then obviously wrapping the top and windshield and stuff. Got the front and rear bumper here, the mirrors, the headlight covers, and the fenders and the garnish panel all done up with 400 or 600, I think, I forget. But yeah, finally ready. So I was able to score some side work this morning. Patched up an exhaust for a guy. He brought his truck by on a Toyota 4Runner. So I was actually able to get the money for the paint. I'm gonna go get the paint probably tomorrow on lunch. I had another guy come by for an exhaust job. I sold this stock Miata muffler yesterday, I think I said, and then the day before that, or a few days before that, I got some money for working with my brother doing some detail stuff. So I got the cash to get the paint, and so I checked the weather. I was hoping to paint it next weekend, but it looks like that may or may not happen. So it's looking like this Wednesday is going to be the day, because it's going to be mid 70s, it's going to be sunny skies, whereas this weekend it's going to be chillier and it's going to be cloudy. So it's looking like a middle of the week type thing. Kind of feel intimidated because it is a little bit of a rush, but that's why I rushed to get the rest of the sanding done today. But we're all good. I'm gonna end this video here though. I am freaking exhausted. I pulled a muscle on my back, so that's definitely not feeling very good. But in the next video I'll be looking out for this paint, and hopefully it comes out nice, because I'm gonna add a little surprise in there. Anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the rest of that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and yeah, anyways, do what you love, forget about the rest. See you in the next one. Peace out.